Oh my gosh, is that Bucky? Is that Bucky? Is that Bucky doing a stripper dance? I don't know. Is it? Is it? Is it? Oh, okay, it's not. Will anyone talk about how they're trying to propaganda this whole campaign by already having Captain America action figure? This should be his first public appearances. Now we know for sure that they've been doing this the whole time, and the final step was getting the shield from Falcon, which is so despicable, let's just say. And this whole charade just remind me greatly of Homelander from The Boys, which is one of my favorite supervillains. Anthony Starr, more chaotic in real life, but great. He is genuinely heartbroken because in the comics, Captain America Volume 5, he was always the one that's most concerned about Captain America's legacy being ruined or contaminated. That's why he chose to pick up the mantle after allegedly he was dead. I just feel like, because I know how he would have felt about Steve, and obviously Sam felt it too, because Sam is one of Captain America's best friend. But with Bucky, he knew Steve before he was Captain America, so this is like even more personal. I love how after he watched the show, he just stand up and deal with his heartbreaks by screaming at the Falcon. I mean, I do not recommend, but this is a very Bucky thing to do. He saw Bucky, was like, oh, here we go again. And this is so funny, but also like frustrating, because for one, he knew that Bucky kind of had the right to be angry with him. So that's one thing. And the second is that he knew Bucky was right, and he knew that he was also heartbroken, but but he knew that he had to listen to Bucky screaming at him. So this is funny and frustrating at the same time. And the Gandalf, like we've seen that in the trailers, but it's really a great line. I regret that we don't really see them talking more about this joke, that he is literally more than 100 years old, and people don't talk about this enough. Anyone gonna explain to us why are they already in costume? I mean, from the previous scene, they don't seem to be wearing anything, and they don't carry a bag. Well, Falcon is carrying a bag. With Sam and Bucky's relationship, it's more like if Bucky told Sam not to call him Buck, he's definitely gonna call him Buck even more. So I'm just saying. And yeah, Steve has a plan. I love how Bucky said that was a very proud voice. As he should, obviously, but it's still funny. And I love how that Bucky is jumping off the plane without a parachute, just like Steve once did. I think at this point he is trying to prove himself to himself, as well as to Steve's legacy. And obviously Sam is filming that. Like, we have seen this already in the trailer, but it's still fun to watch. I love how Bucky is kind of looking down on Sam. First of all, he doesn't like Sam. And second of all, I think this is because he and Steve, they have super soldier serum. So he is literally super, but Sam, he's a really good pilot. I mean, I know like in the comic he can actually fly, but here he can't really fly, but he has this, it's like Tony Stark, but But still, so Bucky's kind of like looking down on him. It's like, okay, but I have a brain arm and I used to be a killer, so I'm so much faster than you. And then got hit in the face with the fact that Sam is actually faster than Bucky has imagined. So I love that realization. But obviously, Bucky's not gonna admit that, so I don't know why this girl remind me so much of a werewolf, but she kind of looks like someone who can play a werewolf. I don't know. That's a weird thought. Anywho, oh my god, this guy. The shield temporarily got to Bucky for like 1 second, and you can see how Bucky was so annoyed when US agent take the shield from him, because he knew that this is so bad. Again, was the frustration, he had it, but he knew that he couldn't just like take it from him, because now he can't go Black Ops anymore because he just got a governmental pardon. So he can't just do what he thought was right just by taking the shield from the US agent. He gotta be smart about it. So even though the shield was inside of his hand, he just had to give it to a US agent. That must been a struggle, even though it has just been 1 second. They are literally having sex. Oh no. I'm sorry. And then Bucky is like the post-cum face, and Falcon is like, get off me. I'm sorry, I didn't know why I did that voice. I'm so sorry. But anyways, uses the freaking gun. That's so not cool. And also, he did that shield flip, and it kind of remind me of Cap uses his shield to help Sam and Natasha to get off the car. And I kind of feel like he is doing this on purpose, because I kind of feel like they were being filmed, but I'm not sure. I kind of feel like so, though. I feel like they are trying to propaganda this whole thing, saying, okay, see what he did there? It kind of reminds you of Steve Rogers, right? So you gotta like him, right? Because he's so much like Steve Rogers, right? And yeah, that's just evil, and I don't like it. And he uses a fucking gun. I don't like it for 2 reasons. First of all, Captain America should not use guns. And second of all, if Captain America should use a gun, that should be Bucky Cap using a gun. Okay? Thank you so much. And I don't like how they were like, yeah, you should be my friend. You should come with me and sit on my car. Because, like, I have a car. Yeah, I know, like, I'm hating him based on my love for Sam, Bucky, and Steve, but I just hate him. I hate him so much. I don't care if he had like a backstory where he just wanted to do the best. I just don't like him. I'm sorry, I just don't like him. And I gotta say, Bucky has a really good instinct when it comes to people. So like when Bucky doesn't like somebody, I feel like he is right. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just don't like him. I love how Bucky is like, okay, you're bullshitting me because your name is Battlestar. I don't want to be in the car with a person's name Battlestar. Obviously, they're just using them to appear more Steve Rogery, and I just can't stand that. And obviously, Sam can't stand that as well. Rightfully so. I love how, just like Malcolm said, everybody in this show thinks that they're a hero and they're doing the right thing. Maybe except Bucky, which is really ironic. Again, ironic. Bucky thick. Sam thicker. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Have you seen this? This is Captain America Volume 5 written all over it. Back then, it was Iron Man who had the shield. Bucky was like, no, let's steal it. He said that to Nick Fury, the robot Nick Fury, I think. I love how Bucky started to wear the dog tag. Obviously we're gonna know more about that, I think, in the upcoming episode. Like, for example, how did he get it? And based on the picture that Sebastian Stan posted a year ago, it was a new one. This new one had a lot more information on it. Maybe someone gifted him with a new one, because obviously like the World War II one shouldn't be so clean. I'm so happy that, like, from the very beginning, they chose to explore different versions of Captain America to let people know, like, hands-on, in the comics, like, how many people have been Captain America, pretty much, because at the end of Endgame, I thought it's gonna be just like Sam taking the shield, Sam being Captain America, and Sam doing like wonderful adventures. Maybe Bucky will be on his side. But then we get to know a lot of different histories of Captain America, like how there was a black cap, and Falcon wasn't even like the only or the first black cap, and there will be like US agent, and this scene is brilliant, can we just say, because that was shot in 2019 before the horrible thing that happened to Floyd. This scene also remind me of how in the Boys, when A-Train got injured, so he got to a shoe store to look at shoes, and this security guard, he didn't recognize A-Train because he wasn't wearing his gears. The bloody security guy actually thought that A-Train was trying to steal some shoes, and he was looking at him so closely until A-Train just can't take it anymore. A-Train was like, dude, are you trying to spy me because like you think I'm gonna steal things? I'm fucking A-Train. And I just love this slap on our faces kind of moment to remind you of the reality that we're in. It's so realistic, and it's so no bullshit. I'm just gonna tell you what's happening in our society, and I'm all for that. It just shows that obviously Black Lives Matter campaign, it would have happened anyways. Even it wasn't for Floyd, it's gonna be happen for some other reasons, because that's just the kind of things that's always happening. Anthony Mackie, he's such a down-to-earth person that a lot of times people forget that he was trained in Juilliard, so he's actually the best of the best. So every time that I see some excellent, amazing, fantastic performance from him, that I knew, okay, I just remember that he's from Juilliard, even though he's so down to earth. But yeah, he is actually from Juilliard. Now, I'm not saying like people from Juilliard are not down to earth. I'm just saying like, I don't know. I just have this feeling that, like the best of the best people are not so down to earth because they're so brilliant and they kind of like operate in a different system. I don't know. I'm just crazy. I love how the camera is like looking at Bucky sometimes, just because he doesn't talk that much, just like Sebastian, but a lot of times like he had this subtle facial expressions to let you know what exactly is on his mind. And like the camera sometimes just capture those small moments that Sebastian did. I think is really Like sometimes he doesn't even move, and sometimes he has like a small nod, and sometimes it's just like a flare in his eyes, but you will know exactly what he was feeling because of some acting that Sebastian Stan is doing right now, was doing in this show. And I love in this show, like from the last episode, he had this brave moment with this girl who's on the date with him. He kind of had this a smile thing, and here he also had a small smile. It's kind of like he knew that this was socially mandated, that sometimes he needs to smile, but he's got no real reason to smile from his heart, so he just do this quick smile, and then it came back to dark. So I thought that was really brilliant and also heartbreaking to know that of his character. Like I said, they are literally scissoring. I don't care if anyone says that they are not, but they are literally scissoring right now. When he said, if he's wrong about you, then he was wrong about me. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna delve into this a bit more, but I think this could mean one or two things, and maybe it's a combination of those two things. So first thing is, I think he thinks that Steve trusts him very much to be, first of all, to be a good person, and also the second thing is a bit more heartbroken because obviously if he doesn't give the shield to the Falcon, I think Bucky will be the next in line, that Steve will trust him with the shield. So in here, I think what Bucky was saying is like, okay, if we can trust Steve, maybe that means I'm not stable or I'm not a hero. But on the other hand, maybe it means that he should have given the shield to me. If, like, for example, if you don't want it, maybe I want it. It beats whatever this John Walker guy has got going on. So I think this is particularly hard for Bucky, but it's also really hard for Sam because, as Malcolm said, as a Black American, he couldn't have just taken the shield and played Captain America so smoothly because of the American society and how they have been treating Sam's people. He couldn't have just taken the mantle so easily. So in here, we can see them both struggle in such a huge way.